Hustlers is a new movie directed by Lorraine Scafaria, and this film stars Jennifer Lopez, Constance Wu, special appearances from Cardi B and Lizzo. Well, Hustlers is based on a true story, and it's about these group of women or strippers that's part of this strip club, and mostly they're gaining so much money and so much funds from doing, whatever they're doing. And times was looking really good for these strippers. And then 2009 hit and the economy went through a crisis. The economic stock market crashed and therefore left a lot of people out of jobs. So the strippers start to lose some of their money, start to lose some of their funds, and they didn't know what else to turn to. So Jennifer Lopez's character got the girls together, got the crew, and they decided to hustle, swindle men out of their money, and use their funds to get back to their regular lifestyle. And we have the movie Hustlers. I want to say that Jennifer Lopez, she still got it. I had an awkward moment when I was in the theater because I had women sitting next to me, on the left side, on the right side. So seeing Jennifer Lopez strip, because there's a scene in this movie, in the beginning of the movie, where basically Jennifer Lopez's character captures the audience. It captured me, opened my eye sockets, and I was just drawn in, and my Willie was on the verge of escaping, and he was almost like, and it was so hard because two women were sitting right next to me. So at that moment, I had to be like Michael Jackson. You don't understand how hard it was. It was literally like no fap season. Some of you are watching this video and you're like, oh my God, he's talking about how he had an erection in the movie theater. Oh, come on. There wasn't times where 50 Shades of Grey came out and y'all were saying the ooh, ah up in the theater while all those nonsensical sex scenes was on screen. Yeah, I was there. But I'm gonna say that Jennifer Lopez definitely had the best performance in this whole entire movie. And also her strip tease, her strip scene, definitely was one of the best highlights in the whole entire movie, if not the most memorable aspect of the whole entire movie. Wow. To measure this up with her other performances, I have to say that this is one of the strongest performances that J-Lo had in a while. I can't really think of other movies that she performed well in. So I can say this was her best performance. Let's be honest. Is there really a good movie out there that J-Lo has ever done that she starred in by herself? I can name one. Enough. That was okay movie. For this movie, I would say she definitely did a good job of performing her character. Constance Wu played a pivotal role in this movie. She was the main star. Most of the film focused on her character, and her performance was fantastic. She did a fantastic job of playing her character. Only thing Constance Wu's character just wants to do is give the money that she needs to take care of her grandmother. So there is a motivation there, but it's just not a development with the other characters, which is very lacking in its story. The film did a good job of giving Constance Wu's character the perspective. The audience get a viewpoint of what a stripper goes through on a day-to-day basis. They are actually hard-working citizens, just like the everyday hard-working man, except they dance for it. Pretty much, Constance Wu's character is the only character that you may gravitate towards. Other characters outside of her, I didn't really give a shit about. The film revolves around her character a lot, and there's times where the film kind of trying to tell its narrative through her perspective, and there is times where the film tries to use flashbacks through her perspective, and the film doesn't do a good job of trying to keep the ligaments attached. It failed to do so. I'll get to that in a minute. Director did a good job on some of the scenes, when the women were stripping, and there was some very beautiful shots and beautiful close-ups of places. There are some problems I have with how she was directing this movie. Like I said before, Jennifer Lopez definitely did a fantastic job with her performance. There's times where you get an inside look of how she's really badass and how she's really a con artist. You get to see all that. You get to see, some dirty things that they do in this movie. They do some very, messed up things to men. Yet you don't really care for the men because these men are claimed to be, corrupt businessmen, corrupt stockbrokers that work for the Wall Street. The movie was funny, and the movie had some good lines and good, banter with its characters. And also they had good humor revolving around some characters. But that's pretty much all they gave in the movie. The movie didn't really give much characterization for other characters outside of Jennifer Lopez's character and Constance Wu's character. This was a very interesting story, and I wanted to learn more. But during the third act, I felt like the director was losing some ideas because that's when the film started to slow down. The way the film tries to tell its story, it tried to utilize flashback scenes. And structurally, the way that they were telling their story was all over the place. They start off as an interview telling its story, and then that's when the film jumps to 2006, to 2009, to 2013, to 2011, back to 2013, back to present day, 2015, back to 2013, present day, 2015, present day. And it happens so many times, and the film does a decent job of letting the audience know what year and what time frame it is, but the film doesn't do it consistently, so you have to figure out what timeline you're in. Also, there was a weird scene that the director decided to utilize that didn't really make sense into the film. There was a scene in the movie where a character was talking about a dream, and then the director decided to utilize that sequence into the movie where basically it felt out of place, and it didn't really make sense of why it happened and why it occurred. It just felt like the director wanted to put that in there to let the audience know that, hey, this person said this thing, and we're going to put that scene in there to let you guys know that, hey, she's feeling some type of way. Like I said a couple seconds ago, this film makes some interesting choices because the film, introduces some new characters like during the second act. The film didn't really develop. Like, there's this new stripper that they add along to their team that has this issue, that has this health problem that she always has to do every time there's a stressful moment. I don't know if the real person has this as a thing in real life, or if they just use this medical thing as a comedic purpose. In the third act, the film did a good job of delivering its message and delivering its story, but yeah, it felt like the film ran out of ideas and it just ended. Just like that. And it was a little bit abrupt, but I accept it for what it is. It had some very good shots, some great performances. You felt the tension within this film. But the problem with this movie, there isn't a lot of characterization with some of the characters. There isn't much of emotion with his characters. Yes, there is tension, and it's funny, but there isn't a lot of emotional development with his characters. They don't really dig deep into the characters on a deeper level. They just kind of skim through it, and you don't really see much of the consequences in this movie. Like, you get like a glimpse of the consequences, but you don't experience the consequences with these characters. And then they just got right on to the ending of the movie, which was a missed opportunity there. But outside of that, has some great performances. I did enjoy myself, and there were some great women, some ass cheeks and butt cheeks clapping in your face. If you want to go in and just see ass cheeks clap in your face, definitely this is a movie for you. If you're going into the movie expecting some kind of great movie, you're not going to get it, but you will still be entertained, and that is all that matters. So I'm going to give Hustlers a Michael Keaton Batman. This is an average movie. Decent movie I might buy on Blu-ray a little bit later. Decent film. I didn't leave the theater thinking, wow, these women are hot. So that is still good. So guys, that's my review of Hustlers. Have you seen Hustlers? What are your thoughts? Comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next review. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.
Walking to the bank like, oh yeah, oh yeah. So they got the ass like, oh yeah, yeah. Shorty so beyond a 10, hey. Body spit fire like Cajun. Baby know that she so cold. Never wear ice, but you know that her wrist froze. Yeah, my baby beyond a 10.